Welcome back to Hometown TCG, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John.
And I'm Josh, and we are back with our series where we are reviewing every hero available in Flesh and Blood, guys. Our community has exploded, and they've pointed out to us that it's not just the Hometown TCG community that's growing, but all of the Flesh and Blood community. We got new players all the time, so we want to review every hero that you guys can play.
That's right. So today we are looking at Rathe the Guardian. Now this guy is fun.
I love Bravo. He's another big guy, just like me.
He's this big guy. He's got a big hammer. He likes to party. He's part of a carnival.
Bravo's a good time. We love
cool.
Bravo.
So when I think of Bravo, I think of two things. I think of super defensive, but also super powerful attacks.
Yeah, his attacks are absolutely crushing if they hit, and they're probably some of the most impactful attacks in the game, and it comes from his keyword crush.
That's right. So crush itself means that if you deal 4 or more damage with the attack, then you get the following effect. And his effects are insane, extremely controlling, discarding cards from your hand, banishing cards from the top of your deck, preventing your opponent from getting go again and other things.
Yeah, even turning off their hero power and then making their first attack do less. The wide variety is insane. Yeah, absolutely.
Devastating.
So there's a lot you can do there, but it really, really shines when you combine that with the keyword Dominate, which Bravo also has on his hero card, so they can only block with 1 card from hand. So it's more likely you're going to get that effect off.
That's right. His attacks are super powerful, and if your opponent can only block 1 card, they have to have a very specific plan on how to actually not take 4 damage.
Yeah, it can be out of control. He is so fun to play, and he teaches you a lot about playing the game when you finally learn how to play him. So let's talk about when you're learning how to play him, or if you want to play Bravo, where he's going to shine, right? What your deck's going to do and what Bravo's going to do as a hero. And the first thing, we've already talked about it, it's those gigantic attacks with hard-to-stop hit effects.
Yes, they're super powerful. We talked about the effects themselves, but where it really shines is against people that don't play a lot of defense reactions or people that don't have a lot of armor. So their 1 card from their hand isn't going to get it done.
Absolutely. The 1 card from hand, if it only is going to block for 3, almost all of your crush attacks or effects that are Dominator are going to go through. You're going to have so much control over that game. It's going to be absolutely insane. But he plays the grindy game really well. We've talked a lot about going tall and kind of being over the top, but in the meantime, he plays this grindy game with his hammer and kind of this little bit of life gain that he's got and looking at the top of his deck. He plays this control-y grind really well.
Super defensive for the regions you mentioned. He's got amazing armor as well. His cards all defend well. He has extra Guardian-specific defense reactions.
Yeah.
So it makes him super hard to attack and actually get through damage because he can just grind your opponent out.
Absolutely, and because of that, I do want to stress the little bit of life gain that does come with playing Bravo. You know, a lot of people playing the Heart of Findel because blue pitch is so important for him. And the 1 life, if you pitch it 2 times a game after coming all the way around, the 2 life is impactful.
Super useful. Blessing of
Deliverance, absolutely. Even Sigil of Solace in his Blitz deck and stuff like that.
So all great things.
Yes.
The other thing that you had mentioned was his weapon. So his hammer, extremely efficient. It's 1 card for 4 damage or 2 cards for 6 damage.
Yes. So 2 cards for 6 damage is pretty good in a grindy game. We gotta like that.
Yeah, and it gives you options. When you need to block with 2 cards, when you need to block with 3 cards, you can do multiple things with him no matter how much you have to block with.
Yeah, so I mean, we're gushing kind of about the things that he does really, really well. He does fall short in a couple areas, and the first one is he can't apply that consistent pressure. Much like Rhinar and champions like that, he doesn't necessarily provide that consistent every turn pressure.
That's right. If you're trying to go against some of these racy decks, or these go wide decks, or like a Dorinthia type,
someone who's trying to beat you to that finish line. Yeah,
you're not going to be able to do it. He can have turns that are really good, but turn after turn consistency, you're probably going to have to defend.
Yeah, and he does have a vulnerability now that there's been another 6 defense reaction added to the meta. He and Husk. He does have this weakness against go tall defense cards.
Yes.
You know, Husk, Soul Shield, and in the mirror match with unmovables and staunch responses and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you have to be aware of those, and that just means that you have to time up your crush effects very wisely.
Yes, it all comes down to the Bravo player knowing what they're doing, and it is important to note that, especially with Chain being so prominent right now, the meta is very go ultra wide, and Bravo doesn't defend go ultra wide extremely well. However, no deck outside of Katsu Control really does at the moment.
Yeah, so that's a hard thing. That's just an advantage of a go-wide deck. So you have to be able to just grind them to the end, do your best to defend, and survive the storm. That's kind of his strategy there. And he's good at surviving the storm because he does have the life gain as well.
Yep, and if you get into that grindy game, like we said, he will start to shine. So it's an area just to be aware of if you want to play Bravo. He does come with, I guess, 3 different play styles, but the one that's in the middle, it's a combination of 2, I think is the right one. But we'll talk first about ultra defensive. We've seen this, we did a deck tech about this in a Dorinthia heavy blitz meta when everyone was getting into the game and playing Dorinthia. You could play ultra defense reaction, hammer attack Bravo, and come out on top.
And that's all you do. You just defend and you hammer every single turn.
Every single
turn. And it's very frustrating for your opponent to play against.
So frustrating.
Now,
but
Bravo does have a lot of setup cards that can help him. For big setup turns as well.
So yeah, you can have a setup Bravo surrounded around Emerging Dominance and
Towering Titan.
Towering Titan, yes,
are going to be 2 your big ones. He has some other great ones as well because he has these auras that they stay in play and they'll make your next turn even bigger. So some of those can be great when you're playing against a defensive deck.
Yes, but the main Bravo build that everyone's going to see is what's more of a mid-range build. It's kind of a hybrid between a very defensive, grindy deck, and it's got these, your Crippling Crushes and your big crushing Bravo attacks thrown in there.
Yeah, and you have your attack reaction pummel and different things like that to get super powerful there, but you can also block out. And the cool thing is that with Bravo, you can actually build a deck that can just do all 3 things, just depending on your opponent.
Yes, and side deck out what you don't want based on the matchup. So that leads us into the kind of discussing some of his staples, and we're going to talk about staples as if the mid-range deck is really where you want to go, because I think that's where Bravo sees the most success, and it's where it's the most fun to play him. And first and foremost, I hate doing this, but it's the legendary equipment. It's Tectonic Pating is the main Bravo staple.
Yes, it helps him with defense, and also it allows him to do his 6 damage hammer.
Yes, it turns on your 6 damage hammer much more efficiently. So it allows you to pitch something to trigger Tectonic Pating and add the Seismic Surge token. Even if you don't use it, it makes your hammer attack for 6, and both cards that you used for that turn on an attack go back to the bottom. And
that's right.
Really lends to that grind out strategy.
It's really efficient there. The other one is probably Crippling Crush. Like that's the biggest thing. When I think Bravo, I think Crippling Crush. It's his iconic attack.
Yes.
Its effect is just devastating. If you get that to crush, you probably just win, feels like.
Yeah, it does feel like if you get that to crush, you're at least in a very good lead in that game. Crippling Crush, and then I would say as well Pummel. Pummel is as much a Bravo card as any Bravo card, right? a Crippling Crush, on the rare occasion you could throw a Pummel on top of it. Oh my goodness, that's just insane. But you can pummel his hammer, you can pummel any of his attacks, guys. Pummel is a definite Bravo staple. Defense reactions too. His specific defense reactions.
Yeah, staunch response.
Yes.
That's another go tall one. That's really great. You can even play it in the blue version.
Yes, I love blue staunch response. I think it's great. I think it fulfills a lot of what the deck wants to do.
Yeah, so it's just another way where he can defend tall attacks so efficiently. And then just another iconic thing is just the amount of blues.
The amount of blues. Oh, that's right. I was wondering why you're laughing, but you're right. It's not like
it's not even a
thing.
specific card.
But blues, guys. Bravo loves playing a lot of blues. So if you can put together these staples, you can build a very cool and very fun Bravo mid-range deck. And I think the benefit of playing Bravo is it really teaches you that back foot, front foot, we call the beautiful fab dance, right? When you're knowing when to defend, keep that life total high, and you're holding on to a Crippling Crush, you're holding on to a piece of gas, and you're knowing when to fire it off.
Yeah,
I think
teaches
it's really
you
cool.
that dance. It teaches you how to have patience in the game, to look for windows and opportunities. He's just great at it. And if you like frustrating your opponents, he's good at that too.
He's absolutely good at that. And I think the last thing he teaches you too is to stick to your game plan. Bravo succeeds when you decide how to beat a hero. If you decide it's to be defensive, if you keep your health high that whole game, you'll feel so rewarded to sticking to your game plan, and he will punish you for going off that game plan and thinking you can change your mind halfway through a game. So guys, if you have this Bravo stuff, definitely get a couple games in. Build Bravo. He's a ton of fun to play. And who doesn't like hanging out with giant guys? Like, we're friendly, we're smiley, we're going to hit you with a crush effect. Until next time, my name is Josh.
And I'm John.
And we'll see you around.